Welcome, beautiful, divine, masculine, and feminine darlings. This is the Seraphim Gypsy, SeraFae Indigo Empress, and Shiloh Horizon. I don't plan to be here for too long, but we'll see how long this takes. I'm going to dive right in with some sage and a reading. And I think I'll sprinkle some Reiki into this session as well. In fact, I know I will. So let's get the sage going. Okay. I also have some herbology to share. Clematis, gentian, so accept setbacks and have focus. Mustard, be joyful. Willow, forgive and forget. And then I finished a bottle actually, Serato, which is an old bottle, the old formulation bottle. Instilling decisiveness when you question your own judgment and ask others for advice. Somebody says it looks like the same bottle. It is, other than the fact that, yeah, see, this one doesn't have color and you see it's much older. It's the same brown glass. It protects what's inside from the light destroying it. It's delicate flower essences. And then they also don't have a long paragraph of a description the way they used to. It's just a simple 1 or 2 word description, generally. For example, instilling decisiveness when you question your own judgment and or ask others for advice. That's the old one. Accept setbacks is the new one. You know what? I hear, again, vominos. Vominos. Which I think means like a very quickly, like move quickly, or let's do something quickly, or let's go. It seems like it's some reference of moving in a very fast pace. Okay, let's get a plate. Welcome. I hope everybody's doing all right. Let's move this out of the way a little bit as well. those flower essences to the water that I have also sitting here. So when I do the Reiki, it's infused with those extra boosts of energy. Let's see. Midwife. So this could be about actual children coming into the earth plane. This is also just about birthing a new creation. This could be working on a project or angel. Something that you've been moving towards, reaching towards, finally coming to fruition. This is also about not falling for temptation or illusion, not falling for distractions or karmic situations or people. I know that there have been karmics trying to insert themselves in light workers' energies lately, and then also project energies so that basically they're wanting people to be confused about what is or isn't a healthy connection. So they accept ones that are not good for them and they push away ones that are healthy. It's about having discernment. Awakener. It's about having that wisdom of discernment. See the line up here, also the strength to overcome whatever that temptation or distraction energy is. And one of those flower essences that I just pulled out, it's out of about, what is it, like 40 up there maybe? So the odds out of 40, like 4 out of 40 that those ones came out, but they did. And one of them said, have focus. It's about not settling for less and having the discipline and discernment. Also, that accept setbacks. It's not accepting something that's not good for you or healthy for you just because what you want or what is good for you is a little bit further down the line. I saw an angel number earlier today. It was 402. I just saw also 747. No, 57. I'll link both of those in the down bar. They're Joanne Sacred Scribe numbers. Specifically that numerology website. Mooncat. Okay. So these people tried to be sneaky. I hear that they had things to hide. I'm picking up moon magic as well. Innocent in reverse. They're liars. Pants are on fire. They got caught. And there's that line in reverse. Same line that came out earlier over here. You see, because they did not have... This is reminding me of the devil and the strength in the tarot. If the strength comes out, it means the devil card is lurking, but it means you have the strength to overcome it. If the devil card comes out, it's not hiding, but it still means you have the strength to overcome it. But in this case, they were trying to overthrow or overcome the light workers. They were not strong enough. They did not have the clearance to do so either. So this is strength in reverse for them. They did not resist the temptation of targeting people the way they should have. And they listened to the little devil on their shoulder, so to speak. See? It's like juggling. It's multiple choices that they thought that they had at their fingertips. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. You know, that sounds like a career criminal and a crime of opportunity, right? A criminal opportunist, rather, to me. Not every opportunity is a good opportunity. Some are tests of your strength and taste and character. Yeah. Threw it out of alignment. I hear they threw it out of alignment. Oh, look, I know there's a blank card. So now the slate has been cleared, and you know what? I just finished that bottle. What was the message on the bottle of flower essence that I finished? Mind you, I've had those for years. Years. Because it takes me a while to go through them. And they last for a long time. They're alcohol-based. Drops. 1111. So the one that's out, it's actually the oldest one that I have in there. And it was about instilling decisiveness, right? So being discerning, there it is. Because they were not, because we chose to see through them and they did not have the discernment not to target people the way that they did, nor the self-control to stop them, we get a clean slate. There's healing happening here. Chutes and ladders. It's like they were trying to play games with her life. And while they were trying to be snakes in her life, they ended up they were trying to knock ladders down for other people, but they ended up, like the snakes they are, accidentally slipping down a wormhole, slipping down a chute. Or slides and ladders is another one, snakes and ladders. You know, before I came here, I was also watching that. Or really, I've been cleaning and taking care of things. I had some errands to do out and about as well. So when I got back from that, I started shifting gears a little bit. But while I was multitasking, I had, what was it? Not the Shannara Chronicles. Somebody may like that. I'm not sure if that's on Netflix anymore. I wish they had put more seasons out of it. It was so good. But Shannara Chronicles, you may like that one. Now this is, I think it's called Shamara, and it's an English dubbed film, right? They've done a redub of it, so the voices are in English. But it was originally a foreign film. And there seemed to be, I don't know if this is entirely based out of one origin or another. They seem to be crisscrossed. Like I pick up a lot of Hindu references in this, or maybe it's inspired by a lot of Hindu attributes, like Kundalini references and things like that, but not directly. They don't speak about these directly, but I notice the crossovers, spiritually speaking, just with having enough education about each of them to see the parallels. But the setting for the movie seems to be in Turkey. So yeah. See, as I'm looking down, it's that polarity energy. You see, look, the divine feminine. First of all, the divine masculine, they both look cranky. She's pointing, she's saying, look at this little person trying to come between us. Look at this nuisance trying to cause division between the divine masculine and the feminine. But this was in reverse, and I'm not generally reading reversals, but it caught my attention. This is in reverse. Their attempts to sabotage people, it made both divine masculine and feminine not very pleased with the situation because, well, it's displeasing. Karmics wouldn't like it if they were in the position they were trying to put other people in. It doesn't give them an edge. It doesn't give them the upper hand or any power. It makes them a bully, and that's why they get karma and also earthly consequences, human consequences, legal, financial, within their career, and also definitely their reputation, for starters. Now, they think it's all fun and games, right? While they, let's say, well, they think that they haven't gotten caught yet, right? Because let's say they're not behind bars yet for a crime that they committed. They think it's so funny But imagine if that person knew, for example, there was a warrant out for their arrest or something, or a judge was just about to sign off for a warrant to send them to jail. They wouldn't be laughing. Oh, her, you gotta know when to hold them, and know when to fold them, and know when to walk away. You better never count your money. While you're sitting at the table, he says there'll be time for counting when the dealing is done. So they thought it was a game and they took a bad gamble. You're a bad liar, and now we know who it shows. Yeah, it's like the snake. I said that the other day, the snake eating its tail, except for they punctured their own. Nobody wants to listen to them now. Look at this. They choked on their own words. They chased themselves in a circle trying to chase other people, and they choked. They fell so hard, but look how hard they must have been running at somebody if they tripped up or caught their own tail and caught their own karma, and it hit them so hard it pierced the back of their skull. It's bad. I hear they had some help. They had some help from the Grim Reaper. You know what? I picked up yesterday, or maybe early this morning, there was a karmic female. Was it a karmic female energy? It was a karmic energy. I don't really care or remember exactly who it was. A karmic. I think it was a female, or a very like emasculated feeling, like a bitch made karmic male. I'll just put it that way. And that's just what I heard. One of them was losing their marbles. I think it was this morning. Because somebody in their family, this part's not funny, has died. Somebody says, well, what part's funny? The part where they thought it was appropriate to lash out at Divine Feminine. So somebody in their family has died, and it's like they're mad at, I believe, Divine Feminine, because they think that it's her fault. They think that there's something that I think this part's funny too. They think she must be doing spell work or something, and that's why they're getting. I just heard a ricochet, but it's not from anything but their own karma. They've been sending horrible energy out of people. They've been sending death spells at people for some of them, and then now they're mad that it came back. Now they're mad at the victim they sent a death spell out to because it didn't hit them. It bounced off the victim who's protected by the divine and hit the people who sent it. I mean, like, it might not have hit the karmic who sent it, but if it doesn't in that case, it usually hits their families or the people that they claim to care about. And that's why they're mad. But yeah, see, I've got, here, hold on, let's see. You don't have to take my word for it. I'm just telling you what God has to say about it. Karmic, so let's see. Yeah, dealing with insecurities, relationship issues. They're dark people. What about it? Energy vampires. Yeah. That's what it was. It was like exes of divine masculine and or feminines, or old friends, or people that these exes were dating. And they're mad because all the nasty energy that they sent out has been hitting them back. Bless you. Yeah, see, hating on your successful lifestyle choices, narcissistic behavior. They're laughing because they're scared that I'm picking up a good chunk of them, at least in this energy, these karmics in the collective. Yeah. Earth sign, and that's the energy that I'm picking up actually. Trying to laugh, trying to intimidate, hot and cold body flashes. Yeah, anger. This is somebody who's hot-tempered. They're being cleansed out though. Got some Palo Santo right here. Whoops. And some sage. And some tiger's eye. $21, $22. Anything else? Yeah, see, they're mad that they have no divine protection. And that the light workers do. Or they failed to take that into consideration, that they shouldn't have been sending that. Yep, unexplained freak accident. So like I said, it maybe, you know, I saw car accidents recently. Got a few visions of them, so maybe one of these people went off the road or something, and they are mad at a light worker. They think it's the light worker's fault, but it's not. It was their own energy that they sent towards a light worker ricocheting. They're just mad that it hit their family instead of whoever they were targeting. But they should, ooh, look what just popped out. See, I told you, but they shouldn't have been sending that. And that was the other thing I was going to say. For the people who think, well, I don't send spell work, and I wasn't sending spell work, and I didn't do death spells. Were you wishing somebody would die? Were you wishing and hoping and imagining and fantasizing about how you wish somebody would be injured, or you hoped something would happen that was bad to them, or you hoped their day would be nasty, or you know what I mean? Something like that, because that's the evil eye. 722, and that's the equivalent to a black magic spell. I'm just saying. Maybe you don't think it is, but negative energy is negative energy, and regardless of what language or religion or culture's terminology you use for it, it is what it is. Really, the evil eye concept is a Romani gypsy reference. Thank you. It's not the only one. Crosses over into aspects of Hinduism as well. And the Hamsa symbol. So it's time to release yourself, take a break, take some time away from these types of people, situations, places, and things. There's also something about abundance coming through, and making a point not to spend too much time around technology, or at least to get yourself out into some fresh air. Somebody's asking why, because it's not great for your energy field. It can put holes in it and then also weaken it. But the natural connection with water or the earth, especially salt water or moving bodies of water that have lots of negative ions, those are really good. It's like when you feel low on energy, it's like a cell phone that needs a charge, right? And then when you plug it into the wall, that's like when you connect with the earth. So you actually charge yourself back up by unplugging a lot of the time, or you can. Yeah, so negativity being sent by a water sign. See, they're mad. They're just mad because the light workers have been protected. And you know what I've also been picking up? That the complaints today, I think I heard this yesterday too, were that the karmics, people in general, but especially karmic energies, some of them were saying that they were having a hard time getting a read on whoever they were watching or targeting or what have you. Like they couldn't quite gauge that person or their personality or their demeanor. They don't really know what's going on with that person or what to expect. Like, they don't know if they should be worried or not, pretty much. Okay. So I feel like, okay, these people are either catching this back for the harm that they were wishing out on others, hold on, I need a little second to sit with that, or they will be. Shadow figures came out earlier, especially if they were pulling on dark energies or calling on anything that they shouldn't have been, which I hear that they were. Not surprising, we just had a full moon recently. Some of these people, the way that they energy vampire off of people, they resonate with the concept of where they come up energetically as incubus and succubus spirits. That doesn't always have to be sexually, can be, but it's really just a perverse violator of boundaries on whatever different level. So dealing with these people is very draining, but I also have been picking up, and I noticed this a few weeks ago too, the same people, whether they were actually calling on dark energies or not, or whether they were working with people who were, right, like little flying monkeys, or whether they were just in such negative energy, the either things that they were calling or the negative energy that they were spitting out, regardless of whether they were calling these entities or not, there were shadow spirits chasing them and haunting them, either because that's what they sent after other people and wanted for other people, or they were in such foul energy, kind of like hellhounds, just sniffing them out, whether they asked for it or not. That's what they called to them, because that's the energy that they were choosing to sit in. And that's not an energy to sit in, especially with no divine protection. But that's also why they have no divine protection. They're just mean. One thing I like about me is I'm nothing like you. Thank you. Sage. Say they wanted to judge. They wanted to try. I picked up there were some smear campaigns going on lately. They wanted to try to smear campaign people as crazy because people haven't been listening to them, because they realized that the whistleblowers were telling the truth, the light workers were being honest, and the criminals or the karmics were actually lying in order to try to distract people from that truth. But what I didn't say earlier was that I actually picked up a karmic almost disgruntlingly, meaning that he almost didn't want to admit this. It was almost more of a complaint, but it wasn't. It was kind of really a confession of his anxiety when you know how to read a narcissist and their statements. But he was saying something about this being a good reading, like it's on point, it's clear, it's concise, and he felt spooked by it. I wasn't going to bring that up. That popped up maybe 10 minutes ago or so. But since it came out in the cards, they can't even deny it. They wanted to, they tried to smear campaign people as either crazy for being spiritual or just crazy in general, so people wouldn't listen to the spiritual references. In some cases, that's exactly when they started smear campaigning the light worker, when they started speaking about spiritual stuff. Or in other cases, they started using that as a way to smear campaign them the second the light workers started whistleblowing or speaking about some kind of crimes. Like, for example, the second I started whistleblowing about pedophilia, these pedophiles grouped up and tried to convince people that I was crazy for being a psychic medium so that people wouldn't look into the fact that they're actually pedophiles. No cap. They actually had me falsely arrested for it twice. I beat all the charges and had them all dropped because I could prove that they were lying and it was a setup and a distraction tactic. But they still tried. And there's a paper trail of that. There are criminal charges that have to be filed for that on them. Especially since I got sick and injured in jail both times. And I shouldn't have been there in the first place. And that's exactly what the lieutenant of the jail said to my face. Oh, you don't belong here. Nope. And when he heard the name, what are those criminals' names again? And I gave them their names, and he said, oh no, because he knew who they were. Yeah. This could be exes, like I said. Or, like I also had a cousin, 3 cousins, and an aunt gang up and steal my inheritance and my daughter's inheritance with a couple of convicted criminals. One of them being a convicted domestic abuser. So there's that family. Not family, right? It's toxic, but this is somebody who tried to present themselves as some kind of family. In some cases, this could have to do with the family could be like a child in between or children in between. $32.22. What about this? So they're going to be so stressed out now that some of them won't be able to eat. That's what they wanted for other people. And it's just cycles of bad luck coming around. And that's what I came here to express. They feel like, I picked that up on the channel twice, they felt like light workers were doing spells at them, but we're not. Nobody's doing spells. But you know what I did pick up? That twice, actually. I had this weird energy shift come through. And then all of a sudden I heard the crazy next door banging around in the car. So I just continued to mind my business. And then a while later, I had this weird, it was like a weird ping in the crown chakra. I felt it. And I knew what it was. It was an attempt at an evil eye. And then I heard the same psycho banging around on the car, in the car next door. Ah, look. You already know who this is. I know. Oh, look, also. So they're crown chakra attacks. No. Crown chakra attacks. Also, I'd say third eye attacks and ear chakra attacks. Now let's clear that out. Let's do some chakra Reiki. Let's do a quick chakra alignment. But I'm hearing to, first of all, clear the aura space. So we'll skip over those who don't want it. Don't worry. It's pre-coded that way. It's not for the karmics. They don't want to help heal anyway. They don't want to do the work anyway, so this is not for them. It's just, it doesn't work. It's not in their, within their frequency range. And even if, by the way, I was giving this to a light worker, which I am, if the light worker chose to oppose this and not do the work, if a light worker chose to oppose, right, let's say we're doing Reiki to heal, like whatever the thing is, and then they go and they do things that are deliberately bad for whatever we just worked to heal. They're basically like praying for good things to happen, but then going and making sure that bad things happen. They're canceling out their prayers with their poor actions. Actions speak louder than words. So if it doesn't work for a light worker that way, it certainly won't work for a karmic. You have to be in alignment. Clear it out, but it won't stick if you don't do the work or maintain it. I'm also picking up a cross reference. Here there's polarity Reiki also coming through. For the light workers, sometimes things heal in cycles, and sometimes a number of sessions are needed, because sometimes there's a lot of stuff to process and it can't all come up and out at one point. And frankly, especially if there's a lot of cyclic stuff or past life stuff coming up, even, it's not necessarily what you want. That would be quite intense. I don't think I would want that all at once like that either. Quite uncomfortable, you know. Okay. There's also abundance Reiki coming through. Let me finish up these karmic cards. Told you. Slamming doors and stuff. I'm like, you seem like you're not happy, dude. I know. Yeah, see? Not happening. Couldn't make it up if I tried. But I don't need to, nor would I ever want to. It just is what it is. So, like I said, you don't have to actually do spells for it to be spells. Somebody just sitting there slamming doors and being nasty. I felt it. I felt the pang in my crown chakra, and then they showed up and started slamming things. So it doesn't have to be a spell or an incantation for it to be a spell, the same way that them just sitting there sending nasty thoughts and wishing harm on people is the evil eye, which is an intent for harm. It's a black magic spell. A prayer could be considered a white magic spell, or healing. Yeah, see? Healing. These people wanted people, if not physically numb within their body parts, then desensitized. Like so overwhelmed and burdened and just shocked that people are desensitized. They're just shut down, emotionally numb. I hear Linkin Park. I've become so numb, I can feel you there. I'm becoming tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming this, all I want to be is be more like you and be less like me. And I know you were just like me, with someone disappointed in you. I've become so numb. So can't you see that you're smothering me, holding too tightly, afraid to lose control? Yeah, so they were trying to oppress light workers, obsessively hold them hostage, captive, cause some kind of issue or targeting. And one of the things that I noticed that they wanted was to try to overwhelm and overburden or push people to the point of either numbness or depression, so that they would off themselves, especially if these people are facing criminal charges. They either needed to try to smear campaign people as crazy or like unreliable or unfit or a liar even, or something like that, or they needed to take them out or to have them kill themselves. often to try to further the narrative of, see, I told you they were crazy, they're just so unstable, while trying to hide the fact that they're bullying people to death or trying to bully people to death, which is a form of manslaughter in a court of law. It's called bullycide. Yeah, they don't care about the truth. They just want to be right. And so even if you're speaking the truth just to oppose you because they can't stand that you're right, even if you're telling them that 2 + 2 = 4, they hate you so much that they'll stand there and argue until they die. That, no, it doesn't. It equals 3.5. Okay, you idiot. It's never going to make you right. Trying to be rude and ridiculous is not going to make you any friends. It's not going to win you any causes. It was never going to make you right. You need to cut that shit out. Pardon my French. Foolish. Black tourmaline. Got a big piece of it right here. This one still has a price tag on it from Tony. He died a couple of years ago, but sorry, that was very bright. This black tourmaline. Yikes. Envious of your children in pregnancy. So they're targeting, I'd say, mothers and children in some cases. Mad that you won't deal with them or talk to them. Why are you so angry? Cranky pants. Talk about you behind your back. Yeah, well, shows how mature they are. Keep a protection pouch with you. I got it covered. So they're jealous of your, what, body image? Your pretty face also. Cute waist, pretty face, I hear. That's funny. Coworkers, two-face. If it's not a coworker, somebody who feels like they're in competition with you. What did I say about that? They don't realize they're sending you the evil eye with their words or actions. That's too bad. They're still going to catch karma for it because they are old enough to know better. At least, even if they don't believe in karma or believe in the or understand the evil eye, then they're old enough to know better not to be an abusive, obnoxious little twat. And they're choosing to do that anyway. So that's on them. Jealous of the attention you receive from others. That doesn't give you the right to treat people like garbage. Yeah. They're trying to either, they're on substances of some kind, or they're trying to hide it, or they were falsely accusing others of being either on them or addicted or something. Yeah, I hear that blew up in their face. That's so funny. Somebody went up to somebody and tried to claim that I'm hearing it. A divine feminine was like an alcoholic or an addict or something. That's hilarious. But somebody looked at them, and whoever they were telling, there was seems like two masculines. It's like a karmic male was telling another masculine of some kind or degree. I'm not saying masculine or divine either way. I don't know who this is, but some other masculine, and he is telling this other masculine, yeah, divine feminine, she's had this addiction problem or something like. Can't even say this without laughing because it's so far-fetched. And this person knows that, so they straight up laugh in this karmic male's face because there was one point where both of them must have known the divine feminine. Like, whoever is being told this nonsense knew her or has known her or was friends with her, I hear back in the day or way back, or has crossed paths with her before, and he's telling this karmic male, there's no way, dude, I don't believe you that she's an addict or an alcoholic or something. I couldn't even get her to drink with me. He says, so like, I know she's reserved, or I know she has self-control. Like, I don't believe you for a minute. Yeah, I hear that. She's usually the DD, or I've seen her be DD, or like she was the DD, or something like that. He knows this dude is lying. I hear ran his mouth to the wrong person, but they were talking crap. It said that in the car. How's that for karma? I'm hearing the universe is just getting started with him. Yeah, look, 2 blank slate cards right here. Blanks, I got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name. A lighthouse. So look, they tried to hide their secrets, but illumination, divine masculines are also coming through. I got a blank space, babe, and I'll write your name. Envious of your children in pregnancy. So he says, look, we'll give him something to be jealous of, divine masculine. And there's a rumor going around about me and you, stirring up a little town about the last week or two. He says, we could tell them they're crazy and they don't know what they're talking about, or I could lay one on you. We could really give them something to talk about. So he's saying, like, if you want, I can just tell them to shut up and that they don't know what they're talking about. Or if you want, we can make out in front of them and really give them something to talk about. Yeah, here, give me a little sugar. That's cute. Yeah, see, they're being cleansed out. And the divine masculine knows. He says, here, I'm getting a little sick of it. So we're all grossed out by it. Nobody likes this or wants this. It's played out. The people who were bystanders and or even, what I just heard bipartisans, but even took part in this on levels, yeah, they're over it too, either because they had a wake-up call as to what they were doing or the reality of the situation versus the slanderous version of the narrative that they were told initially. Whoops. Interesting. Hold on just a second. Thank you. Good call. Thanks for catching that. No. I just heard a fallen masculine or a karmic masculine say she's never going to trust me again. I don't think so. Problems with making important life-changing decisions for future benefits, expansion, abundance, prosperity. Yeah, so they're impulsive, they're bad with money, they make poor choices, they're short-sighted, they'll run off with karmics instead of be loyal to a divine feminine. They'll try to have a good time with a short time, failing to remember or acknowledge that you can't have you can have a good time with your long time, but you can't make a long time out of just a good time, not generally speaking. It's just not how it happens. Here, you can't make a husband harlot or a housewife, precisely. Crown chakra. I mean, like, I have heard people say that they can, but those people still slept around, either cheated and or chose to be in polyamorous relationships. And so that doesn't count, dude. You don't know the first thing about loyalty and fidelity. Don't play that shit. You're single with a partner, okay? Don't play that shit. That is not. Don't try me. When it all falls down, I'm telling you all. When it all falls down. Well, that's me. I'm about to do that in a minute. What did I tell you? Also, they were either sending demons or they were so negative that they just drew them to themselves. Yeah, see, they are so mad when bad things happen, whether it's like their death magic ricocheting back to them or they're just catching karma for being nasty to people all the time. But they didn't have to do that, you know. Are we done with these? Not quite yet. Silly karmics. Let's see. They can't stand to see you shine. Well, you better buy a visor. You don't ever cross my mind. That's why they have to go around slamming doors and crap. Trying to turn others against you. But the only people who are on their team are people who are in just as much hot water as they are. So it doesn't matter. Co-workers, two-faced, because they all flip on each other in the end. Yeah, because it doesn't matter how much they argue, they're not correct. So they always end up losing in the end. Like they want to argue that they're right so bad, but they're not. So they just look stupid arguing with somebody who will never admit that they're right because we know that they're wrong. Sometimes these people, they truly do think that they're right, but they're the type of incompetent people that maybe know enough to think that they're right, but they don't know enough or have enough of an... They have too much ego to acknowledge that they're wrong, let alone learn from it. Always trying to one-up you. Beware of anyone new entering your life. White sage. Here, why do you always have to know what we're doing and figure us out? Why do you always have to try to be... Why do you always have to try to be grimy and sneaky? In reverse. They wanted you to be upset or scared, but it's not working. Yeah, see? Black magic in reverse. Trickster spirit in reverse. We're not confused. Yeah, here. It would just be easier for me if you'd forget what I did, because then I didn't have to take accountability for it. Oh, you would just want the victims to have amnesia to how you abuse them? No. Also, I'm a past life regressionist, okay? Who do you think you're fooling? Certainly not me. Think you can hide things in this life? Come on now. I can pick stuff up from the others. Consistently. And also heal the timelines. For starters, hear Highs and Lows by Prince. Yeah, okay, so metamorphosis, there's a shift happening here. Moving from one timeline to the next, like I said. Yeah, see, the compass, rose, spiral. Those karmics are descending now because they tried to come after people who are stronger than they are, warriors. Right? We might not look like warriors in this life in some cases, but they don't know our spirit, what we've done and who we've been before. Trickster. See, they thought that they were slick. They underestimated their targets, though. I would say. Intimate. They did not understand. They did not know the depths of people like they thought or claimed, like this is Tahuti's curse. Dreamer. Came after priestess, high priestess, mystic. So, Tahuti's curse is an Egyptian reference, and there are a couple of aspects to it, but one of them is that it's about intellect and power and knowledge and wisdom, and in some cases there's a reference of spell work here, so like a book of knowledge, and you have people who try to access this for themselves that are not equipped to handle this knowledge, and they either go mad or they suffer death, misfortune, illness, etc., despair for, it said, gaining access to this information that is, it's like on a frequency level. It's too high over their head. They're not equipped to use it. Or in this case, is what I'm picking up, is that because they think that they're all powerful because they've gotten a hold of information that they don't think that they're supposed to have, or whatever the case, they think they're entitled to have, they misuse it. And that's what brings the destruction and the curse and the turmoil and the illness and death. It's not so much that having the knowledge is the curse itself, it's that they're not equipped to have it, and so they're not equipped to use it, and therefore they misuse it, and they catch hell and karma and massive universal flack for it, for starters. And so that's been the energy that's been popping up. But I just picked up something about Tahuti's curse, so there is a Egyptian reference for that, actually. Interestingly enough. So there's that. I guess we got stuck in the bottom of the deck trying to hide the demon. Told you. Not today, Satan. Never forever. Of the gods, decisions, meetings, future plans. It's about having discernment. They also tried to obtain or use information that was just superior to them, and therefore they are misused it, and again are catching karma for it. Now, Tree of Illumination, truth, revelations, understanding. This got stuck in the deck too. Caretaker, guardian, support, dawn watcher. So you've got divine support, like holy angels and the divine looking out for you, but I also do feel like there are other soul family, light workers, maybe even people in the system, but for divine feminines, definitely divine masculines, helping look out for them. Also ancestors and spirit guides, cleansing, protection, and blessed. Beginning, initiate, origin, or initiate rather, secret of Camelot, authority of spirit. Yeah, having that self-discipline and discernment. water spirit, emotions, memory, life force. Just doing the dishes before I came here. Listening to that show. 6022. Returning home. Transition, life between lifetimes, loving and welcoming. I was just getting a flash of that show too. I watched the first season years ago, and I realized recently that there was a second season, so I went to click it and realized halfway through the first or second or maybe third episode that I'd already watched this one a few years ago. I somehow managed to start the first season over, but had I not done that, I would have missed some key pieces that actually came into play this week that paralleled with some other divine messages. And so this is that Shamara, that Netflix show. I had it going on in the background, and this is partially what this is about, the cycles of death and rebirth. I've mentioned also the snake eating itself, these karmics. Introversion, seeker, self-knowledge, sacred journey. Yeah, see, they were too busy trying to disturb other people's peace to be able to find their own. So they're chasing drugs and highs and light workers. They have been. Delicacy, fragility, and transience. Yeah. There was no balance there, not for them. So I was shifting into a higher plane of dimension. They cannot come. Homeward traveler, completion, reunion, return. And this is also the coming together, the emergence of the masculine and the feminine in polarity, yes, within each individual, but also within the divine counterparts. Healing earth, love, humility, and respect, and also them coming together. It does do that. They do good things for the earth and other people. They set a good inspirational example for people, and they just good vibes are contagious. They're good vibes, make an impact. Meditation. They also help each other. Look at that joint she's got in her. This my girl. She got a fat joint there. A ripper. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm gonna leave that one right there. Emotion, memory, life force. Look, she's sitting over, it looks like a river or waterfall there. Mountain lights, light beings, portals, subtle energies. Remember what I said and I picked up the other day about the chakra system, the heart chakra of the mountain? Open like the lotus, flowering, spirit, revelation, and maturity. The dolphin collar. And I've also been picking that reference up. First of all, pure, joyful friendships, loving help. So yes, calling in soul family, but this is also, I've been picking up that there is, specifically in relation to this actually, a divine masculine, okay? And he live on an island where my ship is wrecked. So lived on an island with his divine feminine and their kids, their daughters, and he was sent to evacuate himself and the kids. She had to stay and do her mission. And he went to the Celtic Islands, which were close enough by. And she died doing her mission, although she knew that was going to happen. And she was reincarnated back into the Celtic Islands pretty quickly. But he was still much older than her at that point, because they started out both as roughly the same age, and then suddenly she was a newborn again. And so suddenly she was younger than her own children. She had children with her divine masculine, then she died and was reborn, but at that point her children would have been older than her, let alone her husband. 65-22. So this divine masculine recognized her spirit, knew who she was, but knew that the connection couldn't be the same as it was in the previous life. It wasn't. It just wasn't. So she was recontracted with, in that life, a age appropriate counterpart, right? It's like when you put it that way, when the mom is reborn and now she's younger than her daughter, I'm like, of course she can't be with the masculine again. He's old enough to be what, her grandpa at that point, or her, at least her dad. And she would be a baby. So that he watched her grow up in the village. At that point he would have been a much older man. Well, she was in, her like teens, 20s, etc. And maybe even 30s or something, but either way. So he watches her grow up, but she's with this other masculine, though he's the same age as her, okay? And so he's younger in physical body than this divine masculine. And then they all finish their life cycle there, and then all of them are reborn, okay? Except for now you've got the divine masculine who's been reborn, and then like the soulmate who was younger that was born with her, right, at in the same time era. So the divine masculine who recognized his reborn divine feminine, and then the soulmate that she was paired with when she was reborn, and then also the divine feminine, they all cross over and are reborn together. And now the divine masculine and the soulmate who she was with when she was reborn, and there was a big age gap between them, 67-22. Now it's like he's trying to compete with, or he has been trying to compete with, divine masculine for divine feminine. So let's say it's a fallen masculine, right? A divine masculine and then a fallen masculine. Right? He was running around with other people who didn't want to give up the trying to get his way with spell work and lusty and or substance, the alcohol or drug abuse cards came out, the substance stuff, that type of a behavior in previous life. He was very immature. And so when he's reborn, he has the potential to grow out of that, but he still has it. So there's divine masculine and divine feminine, and then there's the soulmate that turned into a karmic male when he fell, so the fallen masculine. Divine feminine dies, she's reborn, divine masculine watches her grow up, and when she's old enough to be with someone, she ends up pairing or being paired with the soulmate who fell, but before he fell. They all die, they're reborn. I know I keep repeating this because it's confusing and I'm picking up that somebody's having a hard time grasping their head around this, so I'm trying to explain it as simply as I can. And so they all die just of natural causes in this life, or maybe not in some cases, but then they're all reborn at different time periods, but in the same life. And then you've got divine feminine, and then you've got divine masculine, and this soulmate. Now, the soulmate in a previous life was actually physically younger than divine masculine, and they might be the same age in this new life. But the divine masculine is mentally, emotionally, and spiritually way more advanced than this fallen masculine who was a soulmate before he chose a dark path. They might be the same age now, but the divine masculine is much more mature. And the fallen masculine, the reason he fell is because he didn't learn his lessons. He didn't have the wisdom to let go of those toxic things or cycle. He kept chasing after other people. He kept putting substances in front of good choices. He kept trying to play with spell work to get his way. Like I said, he didn't want to grow and learn. So not only did he lose out on his opportunity to be in accordance with the divine, but he lost out on divine feminine. 70-22. She didn't. She still gets the divine masculine. God says, as it should be, exactly. Open like the lotus. Yeah, see the divine, there's a divine masculine. He says, after hearing things like that and knowing what she's been through, he understands why she may have been like closed up or closed off on some levels. I hear Cold Little Heart by Michael Kiwanuka. The Hidden Worlds. Yeah. You know, I heard that this morning in my dreams. Also, Let Me See Beneath Your Beautiful by The Labyrinth, or Labyrinth. The Mother Awakens. Yeah, it's divine feminine. Coming back to her full self. The Isle of Wonders. What did I say? The island energy. Live on an island where my ship is wrecked. Talk about an island. Good Lord. The Oracle. Spirit speaking. Sacred living intervention. Resurrection. See? Reborn. I'm just telling you. Prophetess. Past life regression. With these cycles. Why they played out and why this dude's been stuck in his head. Because he's been doing this for lifetimes. The Gathering. Seeing this island energy that went down was a very loving, peaceful place. And it was disturbed by invasive, very violent people who wanted it for themselves. They caused destruction, but they also ended up destroying themselves in the process. Temple of Dreams, exactly. And that's what they wanted for themselves. They wanted this sacred space. They wanted the power for themselves that they thought was, I guess, usurpable. But guess what? It rejected them, didn't it? Like a circuit overload. Their negative energy wasn't a fit. Direction, purpose, change, yeah. So we chose to go in a different direction. Yeah, I hear a karmic say, there's nowhere for you to go. I blocked off all my bridges, and God created new pathways instead. The healing temple. They said, well, I tried to cut you off from the divine or make you feel cut off from the divine. Yeah, that didn't work. Restoration, cure, safety, and it will never work. Because it's not supposed to work. They're supposed to mind their own business and learn their lesson. Fairy energy, growth, expansion of flowering. Yeah. See, you're never going to grow by trying to hinder other people's growth. And that's what they were doing. They just blocked and kept themselves from being able to properly manifest their own. That's all. For starters. And then also now they have to take the losses that they were calling in for other people or trying to call in for other people because, again, they did not have the clearance or the authority to be doing so. I hear Turn Your Face Towards the Sun by Rihanna. A karmic female just said to a karmic male, that's funny, she looked at him and said, we're fucked. Yeah, I would say that's an understatement. I don't wish these people harm, but they are getting back what they sent out. You know what I just heard? God's timing is always right. Yeah, well, those mean girls get the backfire, dude. And I'm so sick of that same old love. That kind of tears me up. Ooh, same old love. Okay, let's see really quickly what's up here. Queen of Charisma. Well, I would say that's pretty self-explanatory, wouldn't you? She's got a pie there, too. Ooh. No way. Look what's on his forehead. Ah, that's hilarious. Hilarious. I had to do a double take on that one. Oh, same old love. Okay. Rope. They tried to tie people up and turn the lights out on them. And bind people up in life and take them out or put them in positions where they were taken out. Look. The gun, exactly. Flare gun is also. Flare guns go off in my head, telling me not to call you this late. Still I search your handle every time. Still I sound empty every time. Flare guns. Quinn. She says, you help me, what is it? You help me focus on the light. Debts paid, okay. Interview, so, two things, hold on. Negotiation. Something about having an interview either for a job so that you can work on either stacking money or paying debts, or there's something about having an interview with maybe a debt negotiator for somebody that could, I've never picked that up before, but that could be for someone. Selling in reverse. Buying. Maybe it's like a meeting with somebody who wants to buy something that you're selling, which can help you financially. Cryptocurrency in reverse. This might not be in reverse though. We're doing reversals. Let's do selling this. Yeah, I mean, you could be the one selling. They could be buying what you're selling. Or this is something about having resources so that you can take care of what you need to. Benefits. This is either something that will come with benefits, or this is some kind of benefit or blessing. Or you may be eligible for some kind of benefits. This could be job benefits as well. Unemployment or unemployment benefits. Oh, if somebody's unemployed and they've been put in debt, maybe the debt negotiator, somebody has somebody trying to help them. It's like a light worker who's in a financial pickle. This is what I'm picking up. And they are, it's like maybe they're talking to a debt collector or something, or somebody whose job it is to negotiate and work these situations out. And when they find out and they realize that this person's in a bad spot, like unemployed, or there's something going on here, your financial crisis, they help them, or they give them some kind of break, saving money. You know, it's like saving, getting out of debt and stacking. Growth. so that you can possibly save or work on family dynamics. Or this is also maybe coming from a family dynamic. If you struggled growing up in your family, two things. This can be a pattern that plays out for some people, but also something about wanting to make sure to properly provide, and also making sure that you try to do more for your kids than you feel like were done for you. I'm not even just talking about financially. There are things that you can give people that you cannot buy financially that are just priceless. Responsibilities. Creativity, like a lot of times, especially when kids are young, it's not the things you buy for them, it's the quality time that they spend, that you spend with them, that they remember most. Multitasking. She's got a baby in her arms. 822. This may be working at home too. Credit repair. Yeah, see? This could be something about kids, if there are kids involved. Entrepreneur. This could be about branching into that. Toxic work environment, loan approved. Okay. So somebody knows that somebody's been put in a bad spot. Either had their business messed with, or they were just put in a bad spot and now they need some kind of help, or they need a break, or they need some kind of opportunity. Picking up, somebody didn't do a proper background check on people who were targeting my light workers and our money. Look, work from home just came out, told you. The MacBook in the background. Yeah. So this either some kind of bank or creditor or something is, or some kind of agency is going to either help and offer some resources or just understand the situation and okay. This could have to do with criminals who filed financial fraud. If they filed financial fraud to try to, look, wow, there it is, micromanage people and their money. They didn't want people to have resources to spend because they were stealing everybody's money. There are receipts about that. Maybe they were filing and claiming that you owed them money that you didn't, and it was taken from you when it shouldn't have been taken from you, especially in some cases if they're actually the ones who owed you money, and then they filed fraud so they could take from you instead. That happened to me. Huge decisions. That was a bad idea that they made because they left a paper trail that is qualifiable enough for attorneys to get involved, not only to remove the debt from continuing to accrue and generate on that light worker that was falsely, fraudulently filed on them, but also to reverse any back debt that was filed based on those same fraudulent calculations. Budget. Because somebody's really had to budget themselves after either, if it wasn't unemployment, because there's no disability card on here, this could be also somebody who's been injured out of working. Job offer, new assets, job search. So it's about either getting back on your feet. I hear yes. Also possibly getting in a car for somebody. But definitely attaining new assets if you need some, even if it's just basics, clothes, stuff to take care of the house, vehicle, shelter, transportation. These could be moving for some people, but there's paying bills here as well. What is this? Internship, okay. Something about working together as a team. Money tree. Look, told you, unexpected income, unexpected expenses. So, these people caused, if they cause damages, this could be like a lawyer suing for personal injury, but this may be in relation to Social Security. I know that that's been a thing for some people, either Social Security fraud or Social Security theft. Really, it's both in that regard. Goodness gracious. Shouldn't surprise me that this is what came up. Good Lord. Don't you ever get tired of your own crap, karmics? Because everybody else has had enough of you. If you quit your bullshit, it wouldn't keep coming up off my table. But you don't grow or learn. So this is why you're being forced to get out. Anyway. That's all I have to say for now. Please remember to pray, do no harm, take no crap, and I'll catch you on the next one. Blessings and namaste.